As the former head of the world's #1 assassin family, Zeno possessed nearly invincible combat abilities. Yet today he found himself being challenged by a mere foot soldier. Originally, he had no intention of bothering with such a weak opponent, but the man kept pestering him relentlessly. Still, he decided to give him one chance to survive. It turned out that earlier, when Zeno had joined forces with the chairman to attack the Ant King, he had accidentally injured a human girl with his dragon dive. This was the first time since inheriting the family legacy that he had harmed an innocent person. The series of incidents left him with no desire to continue fighting. But that foot soldier kept courting death, continuously provoking Zeno. Yet Zeno still didn't strike. He simply reminded him kindly, "Look behind you." Zeno's well-meaning warning was taken as a lie, and the foot soldier paid a terrible price. His head and body were pulverized into paste by Silva's single punch. Meanwhile, on another front, Shoot found himself in an unprecedented crisis. When facing Yuppie, a member of the Ant King's royal guard, although he could use agile movements to dodge his opponent's attacks, this also consumed a tremendous amount of his stamina. As the battle entered its white-hot phase, wounds began appearing on his body. But Shoot remained fearless. He completely ignored his opponent's attacks, and even seized the gap between attacks to use Hotel Rafflesia to seal one of Yuppie's eyes. However, this only enraged Yuppie further, and an even more ferocious assault followed, a sight that filled the concealed Knuckle with anxiety. In order to completely seal Yuppie's nun, Knuckle absolutely could not expose his position at this moment. But could Shoot really hold out until then? At this point, only 10 seconds had passed, and Hackaware, interest, collected its first payment. However, compared to Yuppie's massive nun reserves, this was merely a drop in the bucket. As Shoot was struck again, Knuckle could no longer hold back and wanted to rush out, but then his companion behind him patted his shoulder. This was the breathing signal they had agreed upon before the battle. In the moment Knuckle was distracted, Yuppie's tentacle inadvertently struck his face, instantly reducing the carefully accumulated interest by half. This made Knuckle realize the severity of the situation. This monster before him was not something he could handle alone. So he had to proceed according to the original plan. Knuckle then sneaked to a corner. At the same time, the moment his companion took a breath, the concealment state was released, and Hackaware, which had been hidden all along, was discovered by the perceptive Yuppie. Although he didn't know what this thing was, Yuppie was certain there was more than one enemy around him. Yuppie then rapidly retracted all his arms, and immediately large bumps grew from his back, shooting toward Shoot in the air like spikes at high speed. Already severely injured, Shoot had no way to dodge. Just as he was about to be turned into a sieve, Shoot manipulated his flying fist to strike hard against his own shoulder, using the impact to rapidly change position. Though he narrowly escaped disaster, this completely exhausted Shoot's stamina. Seeing that Yuppie was about to kill his teammate, Knuckle finally couldn't help but shout out loud. Knuckle's sudden appearance instantly drew Yuppie's attention, and this was Knuckle's tactic.